Because you don't know what's going to set off a meltdown, when you try to add in other stuff like potty training, I think that's why a lot of these kids don't get potty trained until later.
All right, it's the return of the early morning podcast. Haven't done an early one in a minute.
Nope.
And now I know why.
I'm awake.
The worst thing ever is when Tyler the night before is like, hey, I need a ride to school in the morning. I'm like, oh my God. Right.
Which is so early. You have to leave the house at 7 o'clock.
That's really not early, but...
I think it is.
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess for us, but it wasn't very long ago. I was getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning. So even getting up at like 6:30, I'm like, oh my God, this sucks. How do people do this every single day? Like, ugh.
There was times in your career since we've been together that you'd wake up at 2:30 or 3:30.
Yeah, depending on what was going on.
Yeah, that was awful.
I always said I never want to wake up before the animals wake up. Like the animals are sleeping. You don't see possums and armadillos at 2 o'clock in the morning. No, they're already asleep. Like they're hiding and sleeping and peaceful, snoring. Oh my gosh. I remember driving to work and every house was so dark. Like no lights were on in any home. And I'm like, this is horrible. And on top of that, to do that, you have to go to bed so early. I'm like, I'm missing the best times of what's going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I would always make sure you got up. So I set my alarm, made you coffee.
Oh my gosh.
I got up.
Yeah. Well, you have to. I mean, it's like you get up, the lights go on, the shower goes on. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, it's impossible to get up that early and not wake up other people.
But there's some people in that business that they sleep in separate rooms.
A lot, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We never did that.
Yeah. I mean, that's, geez Louise. I woke up this morning and it wasn't even like, I mean, it was light outside when I took Tyler and everything, but I'm just like, man. But I mean, the roads are packed though. Like, you know, the car lines and everything, like it's people are, you could tell like they're dropping off their kids and they're heading right to work. I'm like, oh my gosh, like you're about to start your 8-9 hour day.
Yeah.
God bless you. Good luck.
Yeah.
Man. So what was I gonna mention? Oh yeah. Cal. So you know, we brought in we didn't bring in, but a new therapist has I guess kind of been assigned to Cal.
Right.
And so, but they're still doing kind of the joint therapy things until I think he gets used to her.
Yep.
So yesterday they both showed up, and you had run out right when they got here, but Lolo got here first, and Lolo's like, "Hi, Cal," and then Maria walks in. And, you know, Cal's like, hi, Yo-Yo. He's doing his thing. Who's this? And he looked at her and he was like, he kind of made a funny, goofy face, like, oh, I'm going to have fun with this one. And they're like, who's this? And then he sort of like made another goofy face and he goes, Maria.
That's funny.
They were so happy that like he remembered the name and everything. So
Aww.
It was funny.
He likes her.
Yeah, he does. Actually, last week, so like they met and they were hanging out for a couple times and then Lolo showed up on her own. And he said, "Where's Maria?"
Aww.
When Lolo showed up. So he's like now I think assuming they're a package deal. So then he'll have to get used to again when Lolo doesn't show up with her.
Right, like today she's by herself.
Who?
Lolo.
No. I know, but when Maria shows up without Lolo, then he'll go, "Where's Yo-Yo?"
Yes.
So
that'll be interesting.
Well, it's a lot of transitions going on right now.
Yeah, I will say that he's doing good with new therapist, you know, and changes. But also. And some people that aren't doing therapy yet, their whole focus is him. Like we're doing in-home therapy, so it actually gives you time to be able to do other things. Their whole focus is on him.
Yep.
So, and he expects it.
Yes. Yes.
He's like, you're here for me.
Well, we've talked before about, I think when she showed up the first time and brought a bag and there was no toys. And he was like, oh, really? Well, there's a penalty for that, and it's called I'll bite you. Like, you don't show up here without toys.
Right.
So
it really confused him.
It is. It's like, this is all about me and da-da-da. But you know what? It's kind of weird to say. You almost appreciate that because then he has that expectation, but that means like that's like a deep sense where he's like sensing and feeling, it's me. This is my time. Like, you have to, like, I want to be the center of it. But at least he has that awareness to want to do that.
Right.
We definitely have to work on the consequences if somebody doesn't bring toys. We don't want him biting, but the fact that he even expects and understands that it's going to be about him is actually a good thing.
Yeah, it is.
So it wasn't always like that, because there was a lot of, in the beginning, it was sort of like he could take a little toy and go sit and look at the wall.
Right.
And kind of just play with his toy and not even say anything or doing it. You know what I mean? He sort of was just there. So now he's kind of like, oh no, like this is an event. It's an event, that he looks forward to.
Well, I mean, we have a living room full of toys, but he doesn't even play with them. He plays with his therapist toys when they're here.
Yeah.
And then when he's not doing therapy, he kind of wants his downtime.
Yeah, I was actually, we probably need to get rid of a lot of that stuff.
That's what I think.
We just don't need it.
No, we don't.
I mean, he doesn't want it. It's almost like it's a waste of space, because even if you ask him to play with it, he'll just ignore them.
I know.
So he doesn't care.
No, he doesn't care
He has
at all.
a couple of toys. He has a couple of toys that he really likes.
Yeah.
But then that's kind of it. He had a really good weekend. My dad was in town, who he only sees about twice a year.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he only sees his grandparents about twice a year, each side.
Both sides, yeah.
And but he recognizes, just because they're older and he can look at them and see that they're older, he knows they're grandparents.
Right.
He likes that part of it.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, so that's kind of cool that he gets into that. But he had he had one meltdown. And it was good enough. I say good enough. It was strong enough that he couldn't go to the girls' game on Sunday.
Yes.
Yeah. It was. You talk about schedule changing and game changing. It happened. I mean, that was another one on Sunday where it was like, I remember you looked at me. You're like, nah, we're not going to the game. Just put your dad and his wife in the car, and you guys figure it out how you all are going to fit, because he is not going.
Which really sucks for me, because then I didn't get to see Charlie win the game.
She did. Game-winning Super Bowl catch, overtime.
Yeah, that was a special moment for her, and I couldn't go.
Well, it was, and a lot of it because her and Austin were split up. They're not on the same team, and they were facing each other.
Yep.
And, obviously,
they're very competitive.
Very competitive, and Austin has those expectations that she'll go out there and win. But man, Charlie, she had an unbelievable game. So. Well,
I talked to her about it yesterday, and she said, I'm a little upset that I couldn't actually really enjoy the moment of winning this championship game, because I was so upset because Austin was crying that I immediately had to go hug her.
Yeah.
And make sure she was okay. So I couldn't even be so happy in that moment.
She told me that too, and I understand it. And I tend to tell her, a lot of the things you think in life, they're going to be the big deals, and you're going to have this it's basically, whatever your version of winning a Super Bowl is. You get there and it happens, and you're like, let's just move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
I told her, I was like, I'm telling you, that's kind of Charlie. I don't know what she was expecting. I don't know what she was expecting. I mean, listen, I don't think she was expecting to make the game-winning catch for the Super Bowl in overtime.
Yeah.
I don't think she was expecting that. But she did, and I think she was so shocked, oh my gosh. But she did. She was a great big sister and ran over and gave Austin a big hug. And it was, I just, I think she wanted it to be something a little different. But I was like, that's just life. You just move on. I was like, even these NFL players, I mean, they have that night where they celebrate, but they've got to get back to doing what they do. You can't just, I don't know. I mean, Trey last night, so he had a big game win. Big game win for first place. Two undefeated teams facing each other.
Yep.
And, he celebrated last night. I'm like, dude, but we have another game next Monday.
Yeah.
It's Tuesday. We've got to get ready for this game Monday. You know what I mean?
You have to keep moving.
Yeah. And I just think that's, I try to remember back in life, just I don't know, when I, had my first house built, when I got the big job, when I got this and I got that, it sort of just happens and you just kind of move on.
Right.
I think you kind of think that's it. I'm at the peak of the mountain, and you're just no, that's not how it works.
Yeah. I know.
The peak of the mountain is kind of your last day on earth. That is the peak of the mountain. You're done.
Yeah.
So you almost never really want to get there. You want to keep going.
Yeah.
So I think she was a little surprised that she didn't it wasn't a bigger feeling for her. And I'm like, well, but there's more sports. You have years and years, decades and decades of doing more things.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
It's pretty cool. Cal did a really good job last night at the game. He's getting very good at being in crowds.
Oh, yeah.
And not being overwhelmed, which is a tough thing to get there.
And people talk to him.
Yeah. Yeah. But he's doing really good. Like the clapping, the cheering, the screaming. Because, you know, like football, like it's just a bunch of people until there's an interception, then screaming. Or there's a big breakaway run and then screaming. It all comes out of the blue.
Oh, yeah.
You can't like say, okay, Cal, it's about to get loud. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it just happens. And he's really done a good job.
Yeah, he has.
So.
And he's comfortable in his wagon. I'm not ready to change that.
Oh, I don't
not
think
yet.
You should. No. And he knows wagon.
Yeah.
He knows what, Red Wagon. He knows he's getting into it. He knows that there's an iPad. He knows there's Play-Doh. He knows that there's snacks.
Yep.
You know, it's almost like a little portable house on wheels for him. Like he's kind of got everything that you know what I mean?
Right.
So
it's his little safe spot.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's used to being in it, and I think there's part of it too where he likes to be wheeled around. You know what I mean?
It is kind of funny.
Well, it's like a little ride, you know? It's like he's on a ride.
Yeah, but I did tell you, like, if he wanted to crawl out of it, he could. So it's like if I'm looking at the game, I have to, like, put my hand on him.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to take my eyes off him.
Yeah, but like you said, I think he's in his comfort zone doing it.
Yeah, he is.
Like being in there, so I don't know. But you've done a good job with the crowd control.
Thanks.
Like he's very controlled in the crowd, and we weren't sure about that.
No. When that would be terrible if I couldn't go to the games.
I was just going to say, and then you wouldn't, that's 2 or 3 games a week you'd be missing.
Yeah, and this, where these games are, it's very convenient.
Very.
You know, where the girls were, it was farther away, and I'm like, I'm not going to drive 20, 30 minutes when he's in a mood.
Yeah.
All in a mood because he didn't want to take a shower and rinse the sand off himself.
Well, that's what started the Meltdown on Sunday, and it's just like like parents know, special needs parents know, you just don't know what the one thing is, and you almost have to not think about it. Like a lot of times now what I'm doing is guessing. I'm like forecasting, okay, this is going to cause a meltdown, and it doesn't. I get surprised, but then something comes out of the blue, and I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. That's what caused it? Man, didn't see that coming.
Yeah, and you just don't know.
Yeah, but that's why I have to tell myself, like, stop guessing. Like, stop trying to assume that this is what's going to cause it, because it changes. Like what used to cause them doesn't. What didn't used to cause it, what it used to like now sometimes can cause them. And it's okay also too to say nothing works, nothing helps it. Nothing is going to calm down the meltdown. Nothing.
Well, no, he had to just calm down.
Yeah.
I had to stick him in the shower.
Yep.
And I did it as fast as I can, and then he didn't want to get dressed. It was awful.
I think it's like other emotions, right? It's like grief and all the other things. You just got to let it out.
Yeah.
And just let it do its thing. Because if you sit there and try to, you know what I mean? It's almost like, okay, overwhelm me. Take me over, overwhelm me. I'll give you this one, and I'm just going to let it roll and let it ride. And then I'll come back bigger and better, stronger, whatever. And that's how it is with these meltdowns. It's like you almost just have to say, just let it go. Just let it go. Let it flow.
Well, because you don't know what's going to set off a meltdown, when you try to add in other stuff like potty training, I think that's why a lot of these kids don't get potty trained until later. I mean, he literally refuses to brush his teeth. Refuses.
Yeah.
And then he doesn't want to go potty either. I'm like, Cal, can we brush your teeth? No.
Which, by the way...
Can we go on the potty? No.
By the way, 6 months ago, he demanded to have a toothbrush at nighttime, but he wanted to kind of just play with it.
Yeah.
Remember?
He won't let me even put it in there now.
Yeah, he would freak out if he didn't get a toothbrush. And now it's like the last thing on earth. And what changed? I don't know. What changed? I have no idea.
Well, he's very sensitive, like the oral sensation.
Yeah.
He's like an oral kid, like always puts stuff in his mouth and stuff. But like I think teeth brushing really stimulates him.
The bristles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it.
No, I get it.
So.
I get it.
It's awful.
Beer stimulates me.
Stop it.
Why would you say stop it?
I don't know, because I'm tired.
Oh, you look exhausted.
Yeah.
It's a good night for a beach bar, though.
I don't know. We have a late night.
Huh?
We have a late night.
Oh, today?
Well, it's too late for a beach bar. I don't get home till like 7:30.
Oh my God, the sun's still out at 7:30. I don't know where.
Maybe you could talk me into it.
Yeah,
after a long
we don't
day.
live in the Northeast Canada, where it's 7:30, it looks like midnight. It's 7:30, the sun's still out. It's gonna be 88 degrees today at 7:30. But
yeah, so I'm competitive with Mark. So he has this 12-pound weighted vest.
oh my God!
And he did this workout, this 25-minute workout with this vest on. So then I did it. My upper body is so sore right now.
You actually look like right now you could immediately go back to bed.
Yeah, I could.
Oh my God!
My body's repairing itself.
Yeah. Well, we did this long beach walk yesterday morning. We try to get a few of those in a week, or as many as we can. And so I'm like, well, you know, I'm just not going to walk on the beach, which is actually a workout in itself, believe it or not. Not even running. Sometimes I'll run on the beach. This was just a walk. But by the way, after just a beach walk, my God, you're sore. It feels good.
I know.
Yeah, and then I'm like, no, I'm going to go next level with this thing. So I bought this weighted vest, and I'm walking with it on the beach, which is like amazing because it's like you're all of these muscles are being, you know, whatever. Then I'm like, oh, I'll do my workouts with the weighted vest on. I went to the gym last week. I saw some buddies there I haven't seen in a while. I saw my cousin there, and they're like, what are you wearing? I was like, dude, I'm going next.
You wore it there?
Oh, yeah, I worked out with it.
Wow.
And they're like, what are you doing? Well, it's got a thing to hold your phone and everything, so it's just, you know what I mean? It's just easy. But so yesterday I did this workout in the driveway. It was like 90 degrees and sunny. Holy crap. It was something. And then Melissa sees me doing it, and she's like, oh, yeah. I come home from picking up the kids after school. She's out there slugging out this workout with the vest on. We pull up, and Charlie's in the front seat, and she's like, whoa, Mom, going with the weighted vest. She's just drenched in sweat.
That's funny.
Like Charlie's face was like, It was pretty cool.
That's funny. No, it's good, though. We push each other.
Yeah. So, you're feeling it?
Oh, my God. I rolled over this morning, and I'm like, oh, my gosh.
But
my upper body hasn't been this sore. I mean, doing push-ups with a weighted vest on.
That's brutal.
I mean, my shoulders, everything hurts.
It's only 12 pounds, but I got to tell you, it's 12 pounds just sitting there, laying on the floor. But when you put it on and you're doing motion, I don't know what it is. It's not 12 pounds. Maybe it's 20. Get what I'm saying? When you're working against it, it's not just 12 pounds.
I know.
Like, imagine holding up a brick wall. Like, if it's leaning at an angle, it's not just what the brick wall weighs because it's leaning at an angle coming down on you.
Yeah.
Get what I'm saying? And so when you're wearing this and you're doing motions up and down, like you're almost like picking a fight with gravity. And gravity's like, okay, because I make the 12 pounds heavier because of your motion.
Well, and I did full sit-ups with it on. So doing a sit-up with 12 pounds on your back.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a different.
Full sit-ups, too, are such a difference maker as opposed to crunches. I think America is the only country that does crunches because, let's be honest, they're a little bit easier than crunches. So than
crunches
sit-ups.
are easier, yeah.
Yeah, so we came up with crunches. And be like, yo, I did 1,000 crunches.
Yeah.
I'm like, right, but that's like 15 sit-ups. Like, just do 15
well,
sit-ups.
A full sit-up was...
And I do crunches, by the way. Like, I'm one of the people that are responsible for this. Like, I do crunches. But when I do sit-ups once in a while, I'm like, oh, my God.
Well, crunches are only working the top part of your abs.
I know.
You know?
Yeah.
But in doing the crunches with a 12-pound vest, it's like, you're like, ugh, because you can't get up. So it's actually easier.
Yeah, I wish people could see your face right now.
It's actually easier just to do the full sit-up.
Yeah, I wish people could see your face right now.
Well, I was trying to describe it because it's actually harder to do the crunch.
You did good, though, with the weighted vest and everything. It was good. That was good. I was proud of you.
Well, and I can do a lot of stuff and not be that sweaty. Like, you can't see it through my clothes.
Yeah.
I showed you my back yesterday.
You were drenched.
Yep,
yeah.
I like it.
No, it's a good detox, and it's just always good to switch things up, always, because your body gets used to doing the same thing all the time.
Yeah,
it's just good to switch it up, trick yourself a little bit, fool your body. Like, you just feel different now, right?
Oh yeah,
yeah. But you like that?
I like it a lot. It makes me feel good.
It's nice to wake up and be like, oh, I'm sore in these parts. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, I got something different going on.
Well, your body's working, but as far as switching things up, we do switch stuff up with Cal too.
Yes.
I mean, even by adding a dining room table, he has another area to sit. It's actually better for everyone.
Yeah.
That was a good call on my part. And thank you.
Congratulations. Again. You did awesome. It was a good call.
Yeah, it's keeping people out of the kitchen.
I didn't think he was ready, but you said he was ready, and you were right. I mean, I think even his therapists were, I mean, they're very pleased at his reaction of it. We've had, oh my God, why am I even saying
I know.
We've had zero problems with this table. It's actually been really good. He's been very peaceful, very calm, very happy on the bench on the table.
Mm-hmm.
He's used it well. He is sitting in the same spot, which, they would prefer probably him not do that all the time. But
Well,
that should, I can get over that easily. They're a little more, I think, like, hey, it's okay to switch it around. Well, and I think the reason with that is he sits in the same spot, but he wants everyone else to sit in the same spot. They don't want him to have that power over everyone else, which I totally understand. So, but if that's right now the worst thing that we have to work through, or the most challenging thing we have to work through, I'm good with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm not even worried about that. I mean, I always say, his therapist can tell us whatever they want, but they're not here 24 hours.
Right.
So we just do what we can, and we'll transition to that later on.
And they understand that. I think they're just trying to set us up at the best. But I think they're very pleased with his reaction, and they've done a really good job making him feel comfortable there. Like, they haven't made it seem like such a big deal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they're kind of going with it, and they're just like, hey, this is just the new part of the house. So they've done a really good job just sort of like, not freaking out over it. And it's good. And it's good that he's sitting on the bench, because I know that we're talking about getting a picnic table outside by the pool, which is another bench style.
Right.
Which, oh my gosh, when we can get, because now we're doing full pool days just with the weather. We're back on the weekends, full pool days. Well, we can be in a scenario where he's in the pool swimming, having fun, but then he gets out and can just calmly and quietly walk over to the table and sit down. Oh my God, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Like, because right now we still have to sort of follow him around everywhere out there.
Yeah.
But if it can be the thing where he's got his table and he'd just walk right over there, grab his iPad, grab a snack, that would be great.
Yep.
Like, just because right now it's like, if he gets out of the pool, one of us has to get out of the pool.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, we have to sort of, so. All
Time to go.
Huh?
Time to go.
It is time to go. We've got 15 minutes till blast off.
Okay.
To the schools. Check out our Aspire Nutrition products at dailyautism.com. By the way, you can also link up to our Facebook Reels, Instagram Reels there, dailyautism.com. The Aspire Nutrition probiotics and nutrients, which we are on all day, every day. We started with Cal because the company was formed after the founder's 3-year-old was diagnosed with autism. They found the link between gut health and brain health, and it is really, really important. I will say Cal's reaction has been overwhelmingly positive. And the biggest thing is he's just eating more food. His tummy feels better, and he's open to trying new things and eating more of it. And, of course, obviously, the multivitamin, there's so many things that kids with autism don't get, so many nutrients they don't get. But with this flavorless formula, he doesn't even know he's getting all of these nutrients. We're tricking him, but we're tricking him for the better. Sometimes you got to do the wrong thing for the right reason, and that's what we're doing. So see the products at our link at dailyautism.com from Aspire Nutrition, and feel free to message us. We have gotten many messages about the products and how we use them. Feel free to message us at dailyautism.com.